Welcome to episode 26 of Tools in the Hall. If this is your first episode or your 26th episode, welcome and thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already, would you mind clicking down here to subscribe? It really helps me out. The channel grows because of it. It looks really good to the YouTube algorithm and we can reach a wider audience. So thank you so much. It's free to you and it means a tremendous amount to me. All right, we have a bunch of new things that we haven't seen in tool halls before, and I'll give you some updates on some things that had been on back order. So let's dig in. I'm trying a slightly different format with this episode. Normally, I handhold the camera, but the last episode I shot was a little too shaky for my liking, and I felt a little nauseous when I was watching it. So I know I adversely affected you in much the same way. I apologize for that. We're going to try it with a stationary camera this time and hope for an improvement. All right, let's take a look at the first things we got here from SP Air. This is a 45-degree die grinder. I haven't seen a ton of these around, but I have a customer who is a fabricator who works for a very high-end shop, and he asked for this one specifically. It's been on back order for, I don't know, a long time. And every week he asks, and every week I tell him, sorry man, I don't have it. Well, I check every week, and as I was checking this week, I saw that the warehouse for my distributor listed one in stock. So I called my rep, I said, that's mine. Put it aside, I'm gonna grab it, ship it with my next order. And he did, so finally, the saga of the back order of the 45-degree die grinder comes to an end. This one is made by SP Air, and SP Air is a manufacturer. They make all kinds of air tools for all kinds of different brands. They make, among other things, the reversible cutoff tool, rather, for Mac tools, and they make a bunch of other things that you probably don't know comes from them, but might have, a Mako, a Cornwell, or Snap-on, or some other brand on it that you are familiar with. These guys manufacture for lots of different brands. Really high quality, and they make some really good ratcheting impacting air ratchets, so they don't tear your knuckles off and swing your wrist around, and they're very manageable. And I don't know if too many other companies that make them. If air tools are more popular, we might see a more of an uptick in those sales, but unfortunately right now, because of the prevalence of battery tools, we don't sell many air tools anymore. But the fabricator who got this wanted this one specifically. If you've seen the video I shot not too long ago, there was a shop tour with Cass Nichols and Robert Whitley. You can click up here to check that one out. They have this light from Milwaukee. This is their Rover M12 work light. It's kind of cool. The battery goes in there, and then this is a magnet swivel base that you can pivot the head around. It's a sizable head on that. It throws a really good light. And I got one on the truck a while back, and I don't remember why I had it. I think it was part of a promo deal or something. And I didn't know what to think of the light. I didn't know how popular it would be. And then Robert saw it, and he said he'd try it because I could make him a pretty good deal on it. Because anytime I get promotional stuff in, especially from Milwaukee, then I can usually do something attractive with the pricing. So we did that for him. He loved the light. So 2 weeks ago, he asked to get a couple more, so I got them for him. And I decided if he likes them that much and Cass likes them that much, somebody else is sure to like them too. So taking their lead, I'm going to now put this on the truck and start to inventory these and see how popular they are. Next, we have some lights from Coast. These are their XPH25R headlamps. If you aren't familiar with the Coast lineup, I urge you to become familiar with the Coast lineup. I did a review of their entire XP series. Click up there to check that out. And the nice thing about their whole series is lifetime warranty on all their lights. They have dual power, which means you can recharge the power cell or use alkaline batteries. This one actually uses CR123s, so it can use rechargeables or disposables. They're IP54 rated for environmental conditions, so they're water and dust resistant and so handy. Their pricing on these is also very, very attractive. If you compare the Coast products to Streamlight products, and I'm a big fan of Streamlight, so I don't say this to put them down. I say it because there's a very valuable comparison here, and that is Coast usually has the edge in price and warranty fulfillment. Even though Streamlight also has lifetime warranties on their lights, we have to send off broken ones to them, and it might take a few weeks for them to get them back. Coast, I got to swap out on the truck because I can go through my distributor to get those changed out. So it's much easier and faster for me and for you. So when you look at the two features of having dual power and focusing beam, and then you look at the lifetime warranty and the ease with which we can get those warranty claims fulfilled, the edge goes to Coast. Most people, most of the time, will prefer a Coast light if they're looking at them side by side. But if people want the Streamlight ones, we get them for them. That's not a problem, but we don't normally carry them on the truck. We're restocking on the Power Pro butane soldering kits. These are the very popular ones. They're pretty much the de facto when it comes to butane soldering kits. They've got a roll of solder in there, as well as a bunch of different tips that you can use for different applications, like stripping jacket wires or etching things, and of course soldering. You can also use it as a torch if you remove the solder tip that's on there. Very handy, very popular, very, very reliable. I'm trying to replace a broken vacuum and pressure gauge for a customer. I believe, and I'm not exactly sure, I believe that this MightyVac one is the direct replacement for the one he has. We're going to try it and see. When I asked him what kind of connector it needed, he said it didn't matter, but this one has a quick connect style. So we're going to see if this is the right one. Based on the information he gave me, I think that this is in fact the direct replacement, but I didn't really get a look at it, and I was just going off of the stuff he was telling me. So we're going to try this and see if it works. If you're a diesel tech and you work on big stuff, you probably have or need one of these. This is the Lyle Davco fuel filter wrench. These are for the large plastic retainer rings that go around the base of a Davco fuel filter housing. And the nice thing about this one is it's very thick. You cannot bend this. And the cheaper ones bend, they're flimsy. Once they bend, they're useless. These guys, I challenge you under normal use to bend that. You can't. That's just extremely thick, very heavy duty. I think they cost like 40 bucks. Buy it because for the extra price, it's well worth the quality that you get with the Lyle ones. Big fan of Lyle. They make very good products. I don't think I've ever seen a Lyle product I wasn't happy with, because customers love them. And as long as people keep buying them and they're happy with them, we have a very, very low rate of breakage on their thing. I can't remember, except for the fan clutch kits, I really don't see much breakage on their tools at all. So as far as I'm concerned, they're rock solid. Love the brand a lot, and they're very, very easy to handle warranty claims with. If something does happen, someone breaks a fan clutch kit component, no problem. I just get them a new one, swap it out. Very easy. These have been incredibly popular. Columbia River Knife and Tool makes what they call the Eaton tool. Some guys call it a tactical spork. That cracks me up. It's this multi-tool. You can eat with it. You can tighten hex fasteners with it. You can pry things with it. You can screw slotted screws with it. You can open bottles with it. You can probably take down a water buffalo and skin it if you needed to. Probably not that, but what can't you do with an Eaton tool? And who wouldn't want this thing? This thing has been selling like crazy. I've been getting them on the truck, dozens at a time, and this is now a replenish of the stock that's gone. So they've been selling like hotcakes. $9.73. So it's a good bargain for somebody. They're a fun tool to have. Terrific gift ideas for people who go camping or fishing, and they've been very popular. I'm glad that people are getting such use out of them. You have seen me tout the 5-piece version of this wrench set. This is the double box universal spline ratcheting wrench set. They come in a bunch of different brands. This one's Monster, and sorry, not Monster. Monster's gone. This one's Mountain. Mountain is owned by my largest distributor, a company called ISN, Integrated Supply Network. That ISN also owns K-Tool. They did own Monster when that was a brand. They own Atlas. They own a bunch of other brands. This wrench set is the same one that they sell under the K-Tool brand. It's the same one that Easy Red had under their brand, and I believe this is made by Easy Red. If you have an independent tool guy or a Mac guy from back in the day, they don't get them from these guys anymore, but there was another wrench set under the Platinum brand from a distributor called Medco. Mac used to buy their supplemental stuff from Medco, but now they use ISN too. So we're all getting tools from the same company, same brand, same places. That's why I like being an independent tool guy, because I was doing that all along, and then they decide if they can't beat them, join them, and they're getting their warehouse distribution for supplemental products now through the same company that I buy most of my stuff from. So this is the 4-piece standard set. There's a 5-piece metric set. This is the set that goes 5/16 and 3/8 on one wrench, 7/16 and ½ inch on another wrench, 9/16 and 5/8 on the third one, and 11/16 and 3/4 on the other. Different sizes on each end. They both have a reversible flex head, and they're nice and long and thin. Lots of leverage for getting in tight spaces. Extremely popular wrench set. I don't believe there's a more popular wrench set that I've ever sold than the metric version of this one. The standard set, not so much, but the metric one covers 8 to 19, and they have them on sale right now on the flyer for I think $235 for the metric set, and I think $200 for the standard. Every AC season we have to stock up on infrared thermometers, that's what I'm trying to say. And ESI is a company that makes nothing but electronic stuff. Their thermometers are terrific, reliable, pricing's pretty good compared to other brands. I'd much rather keep people in the $60 to $70 range than the $120 to $140 range, which you can get with these. And I don't know why they're so expensive. This one seems to fit the bill for most people. It covers minus 58 degrees Fahrenheit to 932 Fahrenheit. There are thermometers that are rangier than this one, but I think for most applications, this is perfectly adequate. So that's why I keep this one on the truck, because the price is the best one. I got a 12 millimeter 90-tooth Gearwrench wrench for somebody who lost their previous one. This is for a very special friend. This is the Astro pneumatic hose clamp pliers. This is the cable-driven kind. You pull the grips and it actuates the end here, which squeezes your hose clamps. This one is for a really good guy, very nice, very helpful, and he's a fellow YouTuber and he's got a fun channel. This is for Ed from Ed the Old Tech Guy. Check out his channel. He asked me to get these for him, so they've just come in. I've also had to ship him a bunch of other things, so we'll probably put that all together in the same shipment for him. He's a really accomplished DIYer who needs things that are good enough for his applications, not necessarily stuff that he's going to be banging on every day. So the one thing I could do with these for him is what I really enjoy doing, really for everybody, and that is if you have a product requirement, tell me if you have a brand preference. Maybe you have a budget preference. Whatever it is, I can shop different brands because I've got about 4 or 5 different hose clamp pliers available to me. He settled on Astro because he got some advice from me and from another YouTuber named Powerstroke Jude. Please check out both their channels. These guys have been very helpful and influential to me in the past few months, and I'm very grateful to all the help they've been giving me. So please reciprocate if you would. Check them out and subscribe to their channels. And we were having a live chat a few weeks ago, and Ed was asking about hose clamp pliers, and he was asking my opinion and Jude's opinion, and we both said, you know, for what you're doing, I think this will be just fine for you. So these are the pliers that he asked for, and those are the ones that he's getting. This is the Gearwrench 20-piece master screwdriver set. It has stubbies, micro drives, and a regular selection of Phillips and slotted screwdrivers. You have seen this on a lot of other tool hauls. If this is your first one, this is the set to consider if you need a lot of screwdrivers. All will have a lifetime warranty. They've got a very nice, comfortable handle, and they all have these hex bolsters on the base of the handle that you can use to attach a wrench to turn it around if you need extra torque. Not all screwdriver sizes have the bolster, and not all screwdriver manufacturers put a bolster on their screwdriver. It's a feature to look out for. Most people don't even know what it's for. So if you have a screwdriver that has a bolster on it and you're having a hard time getting that screw loose, press down on it and get a wrench. Put the wrench on that bolster and see if you can crank it around. That's what it's for. And for folks who don't know that it's even a thing, they may not know that there's a benefit there for them. So look for it if it's a feature you think you can use, because not all screwdrivers have them. This is a very popular set, lifetime warranty on them, and they have a perfect selection here for any application. They're not particularly heavy duty. I would put these in the medium duty category. If you're looking for a really good heavy duty screwdriver set, though, look at the Mayhew one. They have striker caps on them. They intend you to use them as chisels, and they're made to take a beating. So if you need something heavier duty, that might be the option for you. But for most applications, this Gearwrench set is fantastic. And I don't know anyone who's ever been unhappy with it. I think I replaced one in all my years of selling it under warranty. And the guy, you know, he used it beyond its limits. And even though he did, I still covered it for him. But that's it. I mean, out of regular use, the tips don't seem to break much on these. The shafts don't break at all. And if they do, I can just replace the whole thing. Unlike Snap-on. Because if you break a Snap-on screwdriver, they don't replace the handle, they just replace the shaft. So, you know, you buy Gearwrench from me, I'll take care of the whole thing. If you buy Snap-on, they give you the shaft. Oh. Next. I said I wasn't going to do that, didn't I? I just moved the camera all around. Yeah, shame on me. Lighting. Do we have lights? Titan's got some pretty good products. I will confess that I wasn't originally a fan of theirs because I didn't know much about them. I was worried that they were just a bargain tier Chinese brand, and some of their stuff is, but they have some really good options for things that aren't critical, like I'll show you in a minute, magnetic trays and some adapters. They have some pretty decent step drill bits, some little things like that that I think are worth it if you're looking to save some money. They have pretty decent welding helmets too. But I have these hose pliers that I got for Garrett Ceasing of Scooter 911. You've seen him in some sit-down interviews and a really good toolbox tour, as well as a tool cart tour. He owns a very prolific scooter shop. They got busy in no time at all because they do something hardly anyone else does in the area. They work on scooters and motorcycles, and they're really knocking it out of the park. Good for you, Garrett. Check out his channel too, Garrett Ceasing. And you can also look at the videos. I'll post links up here of the stuff I've done with him. So great guy, smart, funny, and needs something like this. He came to me last week and he said, do I have anything to unscrew the collar of a speedometer cable? And I looked at the collar, and it's fairly light construction, small knurling on it. And he said he didn't want to use regular pliers that had a more aggressive jaw because they're gonna damage the collar. And I'm thinking about something that could go around a collar like that that has fairly fine teeth, and I thought of these hose pliers. Lots of different brands have them, but Titan is the one that is going to cost the least. And honestly, it's not a real critical application as far as putting a lot of torque on it goes or needing a lot of grip strength. So I thought we'll get this for him and see if it works. And you can see the fairly fine teeth in the jaw, and they're made to go around things. These are made for hoses, but I think this size in particular is going to gently cup the speedometer cable collar, and I bet that this is the one that would work well for him. And that's the smallest size they make. There's a medium and a large size for different size hoses, but I'm going to see if that one works for him for a speedometer cable. K-Tool has some pretty good welding helmets. I like these because there's such a wide viewing area, and there's 4 sensors, which means it's going to be more difficult to cast a shadow where you'll knock the sensors out and flash yourself. So this is more sensitive than your average helmet with a larger viewing area. The pricing's not bad for these, for one of the nicer helmets. These are just under $300. You can get helmets for a lot less, but their flash rate is rated at far lower. This one's rated for a 30,000th of a second, and with the multiple sensors, it makes it more responsive. And the headgear on this is pretty good too. You can get ones that have junky headgear that are uncomfortable to wear, that only have 2 sensors, that you can cast a shadow over and flash yourself, or have a lower response time. And you're going to pay less for those. It really depends on what your application is. I have a customer who is a road tech with a diesel shop, and he texted me, said, "Hey man, I need a welding helmet." I said, "Do you have a preference?" He said, "Nope, just make it something good." So this is what I decided for him. I'm pretty sure he's going to be happy with it because it's a nice option between the cheap bargain tier ones that don't have nearly the features or the response that this one has, and the really expensive ones like Miller and ESAB, which you're spending a lot of money on those helmets, and I don't really know if it's worth the extra price. The thing I know about ESAB is it's got a really nice display. It's color and touch screen, and it also has some fairly nice headgear. But then again, there's the Jackson brand, which has really good headgear too, and I know welders who like them better than the ESAB. And a lot of guys have Miller when the shop buys them because they can't afford to buy them themselves, and they say nice things about the Millers too, but again, they're really expensive, many hundreds of dollars that you could be spending on those helmets. So I think a good middle ground was this K-Tool one. So we'll give that to him next week, and I hope he likes it. Magnet trays from K-Tool. These are 2 round ones. Not much to say about a magnet tray. I go for price on magnet trays because quality is all the same, and you can spend a whole lot more on them than the K-Tool ones would cost you. I don't know why you would, unless you don't have an option. But the one thing I pride myself on is being able to give you options for things like this. I mean, you don't have to buy the $10 version. You can buy the $20 version if you want. And sometimes it really is dependent on the other tool trucks that shops get. If the only thing they get is the macro guy who's, he's got the one magnet tray that's going to cost you however much, then that's the choice that you get. So it's a bummer that sometimes that drives your decisions. If you can't afford to shop it, because you can get some better deals. Lots of other places, including the ones from Titan. These ones are just as serviceable as any other magnet tray, and you'll save yourself a bunch of money. They have the rectangle ones as well as the larger square ones. These are 10.5 by 11.5, and these are 6.25 by 14. And then the round ones I showed you from K-Tool are the, I think those are 5.5 inches, if I'm not mistaken. Next, we got some gloves in. GloveWorks changed their packaging. I didn't have any problem with their last package design, but these are kind of nice. They look like Coyle Tools Orange. They saw a good thing, and they decided to copy. All right. These are the 8mm gloves that you can reuse. They've got a diamond grip pattern on them for easy gripping. You can wash these off, reuse them multiple times before you have to replace them. And they last way longer than the thinner ones that break every time you try to put them on or take them off, and you can't reuse them very well. These you can reuse easily. So the box of 100 will last you longer than a box of 100 thinner gloves. The price on these is still too expensive for a box of gloves as far as I am concerned, but from what people are faced with as far as choices go, they can get them at the auto parts store and pay 40 bucks. They can get them on the Snap-on and Matco truck and pay, get this, $75 to $80 a box. I've got these for $35. I am making a volume discount deal for one of the corporate shops that I service. It's one of the refuse companies whose diesel shop I service. I made a deal with them that they'll have a monthly recurring purchase from me, and I will save them about $5 a box. And they'll buy them a certain minimum from me every month, so it's kind of a subscription basis, so I'm doing that with them. And I hope to expound on that plan and offer that up to other shops too. It's kind of tough in the corporate shops because sometimes their glove supplier is the people who clean the facility and provide them hand cleaner and uniforms and all the rest of it. So sometimes it's all lumped together and I can't really get an in on that one, but this company there was kind of in the lurch about who they were going to use as a glove supplier. I have given them gloves in the past, and when they were asking about a disco round, I said, because they're always kind of, hey man, do you have gloves in the truck? I need them right now. Well, how many do you need? Well, I need, a case. Well, I've only got, a few boxes. So what I approached them with was, why don't we do it on a subscription basis? If you know how often you're going to have to order these, I'll get them for you. I'll have them in the pipeline. That way you're never waiting for them. And if I can save them a few bucks over the people who they were getting it from, I'll do that. So they said okay to this deal. And starting June, I'm going to start giving them their quota of gloves every month. So thank you very much to Waste Connections for doing that for me. They need large and extra large, so I'm getting them by the case. The Gloveworks orange ones are the ones that are rather popular. They have green color too, and green is very popular, but those are not available right now. But I can get plenty of the orange ones, so I'm happy to do that. I have to get them from my secondary supplier. My primary supplier is out of them right now, and that's the beauty of doing things the way I do them, is that if I can't get them from one supplier, I can get them from another supplier. So I got these in real short order, and I'll be able to deliver them next week. If you need pry bars, like other brands I carry, you have choices. The pry bar brands I carry are Milwaukee, Titan, Mayhew, K-Tool. There's a bunch of different brands. This set here is from K-Tool, and this is the exact same Dominator set that Mayhew makes. They just make them for K-Tool, and Bennett's going to come in here to help tell you about pry bars. Bennett, you're a terrible pitchman, but you're adorable. All right, back to this. I forgot where I was. Well, let's recap. This K-Tool set is made by Mayhew. This is a rebranded Dominator pry bar set. Lifetime warranty, striker cap on them. They're made to be used and abused. This set, 5-piece set has an 8-inch, 12-inch, 17-inch, 25-inch, and a 31-inch. These are the curved tips. So there's plenty of sizes in there for most any application, unless you need something really big, and then we'll get you in the larger Dominator ones from Mayhew if you need them. I don't believe K-Tool has the larger sizes, but as far as a 5-piece set goes, this one's a very good set. You get more pieces in here for less than what I've seen the same pry bars go for on, say, the Matco truck. If you look in their current catalog, they have a 4-piece set for $225. This is a 5-piece set for $171. Yes, you get more pry bars for less money under the same quality Mayhew Dominator pry bar product than you will get on the Matco truck. Why? Because ISN, which owns K-Tool and has the arrangement with Mayhew, prices these things out different than Matco does because they move higher volume, they're a larger company. And as a result, you can get a much better choice by shopping around a little bit and finding a better deal on my truck, for example. This is a panel tree from Steck Manufacturing. Steck makes a lot of specialty tools for paint and body. They make step stools and they make, I don't know, a bunch of products. This panel tree is used to hang body panels that are being primed or painted. It has a stand and it has a spindle that goes up vertically from the stand and then arms that come off of the spindle that hang the panels. And this is going to a very high-end shop that I am honored to serve. The shop is run by a great guy named Tommy Ramey, R-A-M-E-Y. Check him out on Instagram at Rowdy Ramey. He makes such incredible projects, custom builds for cars and motorcycles. He does fantastic paint work and works hand in hand with Martin Brothers Customs, who has a TV show, Iron Resurrection. His shop is right across the way. He's been working, I think, for them originally, and then he leased some space and built his own shop, and now he operates independently but still works with Martin Brothers and supplies them with a lot of their projects. Great guy. Fun character, a guy to talk to, and he's great at telling stories. And he asked me for the panel tree. It's been a few months now, but like that die grinder I showed you, every week I'm checking to see where it's available, and it came up as being available, so I had my distributor ship it. So Tommy will get that next week. And I'm very grateful for his business and for everybody's business, of course, because without customers, of course, no one's in business. And I'm also very grateful for your viewership because you help make it all go around. Contributing to the channel by watching, liking, and subscribing means a lot to me. And it helps me grow. It helps get some more reach, and as a result, I've been growing within this community of tools and tool enthusiasts the last few months with the help of guys like Power Stroke Jude, Speed Wrench Customs, Ed the Old Tech Guy, Diabolical 58, a bunch of other folks that have been instrumental in just helping get me more involved in what's going on and getting me some exposure in a higher profile in the online and YouTube community specifically. So I'm grateful to all of you folks for all the work you've done with me and for me, and you're throwing some business my way, which is a lot of fun, and that's always great. So thank you so much. So keep watching the channel because we've got some interesting and new types of videos coming up, including some air tool repair videos where we're doing some in-house repairs on impact guns and some air ratchets, as well as a really nice shop tour that I referred to earlier with Cass Nichols and Robert Whitley, and all kinds of new things coming up. So do me a favor, click down here now to subscribe so that you don't miss any of it. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, use a tool. Don't be one.